welcome back. Welcome back to this fun-filled episode of Tyman on Tap. I'm looking at the wrong camera now. Now I'm looking at the right one, right? Al, give me a thumbs up if I'm looking at the right camera, because I do not want to look at the shot. All right, everybody. So welcome back. This is Tyman on Tap. I don't know what number episode it is. We're in the hundreds of... Alan, do you know what episode this is?
No, I have no idea what episode this is, but I know for a fact that this is not episode 100.
This is over 100.
How can it possibly be over 100?
Because...
You know what it is,
We've been
Tyman?
on for 3
it's
years.
Over 9,000. It's over 9,000, Tyman. It's over 9,000.
Over 9,000. Over 9,000. All right, so everybody, welcome back. It's been a week or so. I took last week off because of a snowstorm. It was pretty bad. It started snowing at 8 o'clock last night, last week when my show came on. So I want to welcome everybody back. We got a bunch of awesome guests coming up, and especially tonight we have our guest, Joey Smith. He's a guitarist from Meriden, and we'll talk to him, ask him some questions, and talk about his music, talk about his influences, and all that fun stuff. But before, we have a lot to happen in the past 2 weeks. So, Alan, are you going to my President's Day party?
No, I'm not.
Why not?
I've already made a decision. No, I have no way of getting there.
The bus?
Yeah, but then I'm going to leave late, and I'm not going to be able to take the bus home. I'm going to take the train, and yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess the bus stops at 11, right?
No, the bus stops at 6:30.
No, the bus stops at 11. Maybe to Wallingford it might stop at 6:30.
Yeah, the last one is 6:30. There's a 7 o'clock, and you'd have to take the J, and that only goes to Westbrook.
What do you mean, Westbrook, the town Westbrook?
No, not Westbrook. The park that's in New Haven.
East Rock?
No,
West Rock?
The one that's right on the border of like Wallingford and New Haven.
Wallingford, New Haven, don't touch.
Whartonbrook
There's
Park.
Wallingford, New Haven, don't touch. There's North Haven, there's Hampton, there's a bunch of
Oh, my bad. Not New Haven, North Haven. My bad, dog.
Oh. Just thumb it.
Yeah.
You know what solved this problem, Alan?
Getting my license?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about that. But you know something? Who does that? That's overrated.
Everybody does that.
Not in New York. I'm going to move to New York one day.
And one day, I'm going to have $1 million. But until that happens, I'm going to keep working. Alan, I need $2 million to be able to retire. So I'm putting away money. When that moment happens, I'm going to retire. I don't know when it's going to be. I could be 75 years old when that happens. But I'm going to do that and retire one day. So what's going to happen? Am I going to be retired before you get your license?
Probably not. But I have a better question. Where's my Starbucks?
I was kind of running late today, and I got startled because the lady, I gave her the order, and then she rang me up after I gave her my drink order instead of asking if I wanted anything more, so I just paid and continued to go. What are you going to do, Alan?
I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm gonna go freaking wild if I don't get something from Starbucks.
No, I'll get you next week, Alan.
Okay, that's amazing.
Is next week the anime club?
I'm not sure. You'd have to look onto the website. Tyman.
Did you fix the headers? Did you fix the headers?
The headers? The headers on what?
The page. They're not index 9 of 5.
No, I didn't fix that. Those are great headers. Actually, I think I have. Do I have it right here? Yes, I do. TymanOnTap.AlanBillings.com.
So, Alan, for my president's party, I am going to be Chester Arthur. No, too bad we don't have an image of him, so we can show everybody what I'm going to do. But I'm basically going to shave the chin, shave underneath here, and have the mutton chops go into the mustache. And because I'm so dedicated to this, I'm going to spend all of Saturday as Chester Arthur. I have a meetup at the Wallingford Book Club, and we're going to the Peabody Museum, which is back-to-back weeks I've been to the Peabody Museum, mind you, with 2 different book clubs on meetup. So I'm going back to the Peabody Museum for 2 weeks in a row. And I'm going to spend the whole day as Chester Arthur. I'm going to a thrift shop. I'm going to get some vintage-looking clothing. And I'm going to be, from 1880. And this be awesome the whole entire day.
In the words of Buzz Lightyear, you are a sad, strange little man.
I'm not sad. I am awesome. I may be strange, and I have no problem being strange. But I am not sad. I am awesome.
And you are not little.
I'm not little. I'm about average height, and I'm slightly obese. So I'm not little.
Slightly obese.
I am actually. I'm almost overweight. There's only 4 pounds, and I'll be overweight.
I was told I was obese. I was partially almost obese once.
Okay.
I didn't believe that for a second because I was really skinny at the time.
It's BMI. It's not really a good measure of whether you're fat or not. It's just your body can.
It's terrible. Anyway, I think we should get to more important things like guests and stuff. And news.
Yeah, we got to talk about news stuff. So, Alan, do you know what happened almost 50 years ago? About 50 years ago last week.
Tyman was
Tyman is 28 years old. That did not happen 50 years ago.
I don't know what happened 50 years
I can't hear you now.
What happened 50 years ago?
The Beatles were on Ed Sullivan.
Really? Oh, wait. Yes, I actually wasn't that that was on the news. Not today, but
Sunday night. Actually, tonight we're competing against it. They're re-airing the show tonight of the Beatles tribute concert.
well, that's great.
Yes, but it was 50 years ago. So so Alan, since I have a variety show, I think we're gonna do a very Ed Sullivan theme tonight.
Oh boy.
I don't know where I was going with that.
And in the words of George Takei, oh my.
Yes, George Takei. Also, we have a football player that came out of the closet. Did you hear about that story, Alan?
No, I have not heard any of the stories you're talking about on the show.
So,
I'm just the producer. I'm the guy in the back.
So Michael Sam came out of the closet over the weekend and is going to attempt to be the first openly gay player in the NFL.
Why, was he cleaning it?
Okay, so the next news story. So Alan, do you have an Xbox 360?
Of course I have an Xbox 360. What fool does not have an Xbox 360?
Are you getting Titanfall?
No.
Do you know what Titanfall is?
No. I have not played video games in many years.
But you own an Xbox 360.
I bought it many years ago.
The Xbox 360 has only been out for like 7 years ago. For 7 years now. That's not many years.
That's many years.
I've been alive for 4 times that.
You've been alive for many, many years.
Not really. Alan, you're so infuriating tonight. You're just like giving me so much agita. But Alan, so what are we gonna do the Alan Billings dating project?
We're not doing that. Not happening.
I think that since you're giving me such a hard time, we get to do the Alan Billings dating project.
No, we're not doing it.
So
I still stand by my option of not doing it.
All right. I'm going to pay for your meals with these fine ladies that want to date you, and all you have to do is come back like it's a love connection and talk about it.
Oh, that's really romantic. Hey, how'd you pay for this meal? Oh, no, don't worry. Tyman's got it.
I'll give you the cash. You don't have to tell anybody. Or I can give you my credit card and just sign for me. I'm a big tipper, too, so if you're using my credit card, don't give less than 20%. I'll feel guilty about it.
Do you get points?
I do get points.
Okay, I think we have better things to talk about than this.
But. All right, yes, we have better things to talk about. All right, so tune in March for the Alan Billings Dating Project. We're really excited about this segment on the show. All right, so we have a special guest, a musical guest that Alan Billings was actually was able to book for us. Right, Alan? You're not listening, Alan. So I want to introduce to you Joey Smith. Maybe not. Oh, there you are. So, how's it going this evening?
It's going pretty well, you know. Like, everybody here is pretty chill, you know. It's great to meet everybody. It's a great show, you know. I heard a lot about you guys.
A lot about me? Like, from where?
From your website.
Oh, okay.
Definitely. Great
Alan,
show.
I'm getting feedback in my earpiece. I can't turn this down a little bit. Too much feedback. So that's exciting. So let's start with the basics. So tell me about yourself. So obviously you're married now. You said you're from New Britain, but tell me about yourself. Like,
well, like I'm from New Britain, definitely. You know, like I always have a place in my heart, you know, for New Britain. But like I love the music scene around New Haven. A lot of great bands in this area. You know, like a good music scene and everything. A good like art scene, like as a whole.
Yes.
You know, but I got into music like as a kid. Actually, when I was a kid, I was into like rap.
Yeah.
I was and it's crazy. I was in like gangster, like, you know, like Tupac and like Biggie and stuff, you know. And like when I first like got introduced to like the Beatles and like Hotel California, at first I was like, no, like that's way too different.
Yeah.
Then I really looked at it and I was like, wow, like there's like so much here, you know. So it inspired me to pick up guitar, you know, and the rest is history, you know.
So how long have you been playing guitar for?
Since I was like 14, so like I'm 21 now. That's like 7 years, 7 years.
Okay, so
yeah.
so you said you were really into like the gangster rap and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you still listen to that stuff anymore?
Well, I listen to like, I mean, I don't listen to intense, you know, like I'm gonna mug you and take your money and smack your grandma and like crazy rap like that. But like I like De La Soul and like, you know, Tupac and like Biggie. A little, some new stuff, like the thrift store song. I don't know if
Macklemore?
I can. Yeah, I don't know if I can like drop any names or anything on the show.
You can
but,
drop
like,
names.
Yeah.
What do you think about the controversy of Macklemore winning best hip hop?
Oh, I heard a little bit about that because he was they said that he shouldn't have won it because he wasn't black or something like that.
It was
so-
that it's really poppy. And, like a lot of his
Yeah.
beats and stuff are more rock and pop based than they are really rap
Yeah.
beats. And like,
Yeah, like they're not like exactly hip hop.
Yeah.
Well,
I would say
But-
they're hip hop. They're probably not rap.
Yeah, they're not anything like 50 Cent or like
Yeah.
Kanye or
Yeah.
like Lil Wayne.
Yeezus.
Yeezus. They actually made a church for Yeezus.
A church.
I
of
don't know if
Yeezus.
you guys are informed about that. I googled it and Google
Really?
never lies. Google never lies.
Google never lies. They steal your information. I actually about you're familiar with the band Depeche Mode, right?
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I haven't. If you named a couple songs, I know they're mainstream songs, but I don't have
Like Personal Jesus, right?
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
I was on the online dating site and somebody's username was Personal Yeezus. I'm like, this is too much.
I wouldn't have dated that person. I would have went on a date just to see what kind of person that was. Seems like a very interesting.
I messaged her like, your name's just too much for me to handle right now. That was it. I hit send.
Personal Jesus.
So how did you? So you said you started listening to this. It was too different. But how did you
Definitely.
first get into classic rock? Because like I know like some people that like listen to rap,
Yes.
they'll get into more like
Yes.
rock rap or more of the heavier stuff, the newer stuff. They won't necessarily
Yeah.
go all the way back.
To the
Yeah.
Well, it started I had a friend it started in middle school, everyone wants to fit in and stuff like that, and I had a friend, he was like, hey man, you just gotta you just gotta hit this joint, and listen to some, joint of tobacco, and listen, listen to some Led Zeppelin and some Beatles, and at first I was like, no man, come on, but then I listened to it, and it took a couple of listens,
Yeah.
but then I listened to Stairway to Heaven. I know it's so overplayed, Black Sabbath and stuff like that. It started out with the mainstream stuff, and then I delved into other subversive Ween and it's a great band. Oh my god, so many the Sex Pistols, the Clash and stuff, and so much history. So much culture.
Yeah.
And then I saw how much money and how much success they had doing that.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, what's the difference between them and me? Why can't I pick up a guitar and be like my idols?
Yeah.
Pick up a microphone and, get tons of groupies, even though I only need one groupie sitting right there, my girlfriend. But, it was a huge inspiration, and it inspires millions of people,
So so what's on your iPod these days? What are you listening to?
Well, I don't have an iPod because I feel like it's just mainstream, and I'm a hipster. I have I have a Zune,
When was the last time they made those?
It took me a while to find one, but you got no. Actually, there's a controversy. It's they're in Japan or China. There are people actually jumping out of the iPhone factories because of so much. They have so much pressure on them to put out
Yes.
iPhones and the little devices.
Yeah.
And it's
Foxconn.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't hear about that, and it's like, holy crap! My iPhone is causing people to.
The thing is about that is that it's not that it's solely Apple's fault. It's their
Yeah.
Chinese distributors. And in theory, Foxconn's a huge manufacturer, so any electronic device anything not made in America and not made in Japan or some other well-developed country, you're risking. Even in America, sometimes the work
Completely.
conditions aren't great, but if you go to China,
Yeah, you're gonna see some bottom.
yeah,
Indonesia, and there's a huge fire, I believe, in one factory, I forget what country, but a bunch of people died,
yeah,
and
it's like the Industrial Revolution in America, where
Yeah.
they would
Yeah.
that's where their safety
It's
standards
horrible.
are.
Yeah, and you look at back in the 1800s and the early 1900s, and you see people in sweatshops and everything, closed windows and everything.
Yeah.
Here in America, we just don't see it,
Yeah.
because we look at our CNN and everything's okay in the world, but we don't see what's going on in Indonesia and China and Africa, and it's it's night and day. It's
The thing is, manufacturers now moving back to America. Apple has moved the Mac Pro, the big Mac thing, back to manufacturing in America. And now they have these robots that cost $20,000, and they can produce the the equivalent of 3 workers of lifetime before they break.
Holy crap!
So like you're seeing a lot of manufacturing move back to America, and even move back to Europe, which is even more expensive than manufacturing than America. So Philips and Norelco, the razors, are actually now made in Europe now because they were able to get robots, and they're actually having the factories in Europe are cheaper than having it in China.
Oh my god. So that's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
And that's like another thing, like it's like the first we had the industrial revolution, now we're gonna have the robotic revolution. Some people say like the robots are taking our jobs. Like you see.
All our jobs are being shipped overseas. So if they come back with robots, we're actually going to give us jobs because we're going to need people to service those robots. But
what if we're robots right now?
What?
What if we're robots right now? We don't even know it.
What if this is the Matrix?
Our robot. No.
Compared to the Matrix, the best time in humanity was like 1999. Like that's why it's kind of stuck on repeat of that like time period.
That's wicked.
Because people love Bill Clinton.
Alright.
So let's get back to some musical influences of yours. So, so when you were listening to music, right? You start hearing your friends start telling you gotta listen to the Beatles, you gotta listen to whoever, right? So, did you instantly say, well, if I'm listening to them, I want to play the guitar, or is this something like, because I'm really into dubstep, not really, but I'm not gonna like go start like.
Like go to raves and stuff and buy a DJ kit. Well, it took me a little while. What made me pick up the guitar was I went to my friend's house and he had this like little polished acoustic guitar from the 70s, like from his mom, back in those old days, like still smelled like weed and everything, back in the day. And he just played do you know that song Can't You See, like I forget.
Can't you see?
Yeah.
Oh,
With
can't
that
you see?
woman, Lord. That song. I forget. Dave something band, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, with some band. And, like, I was like, holy crap. Like, I want to be better than you. Like, I'm jealous, And, like, I just picked up the guitar. I learned, like, I Want to Hold Your Hand. And, like, a lot of Zeppelin, I went through that phase for a while. And I just, like, instead of, like, it kind of shot me in the foot. Because, like, instead of going home and doing my homework and, like, paying attention in school and stuff, I just, like, go home. Be like, okay, I could either do history homework or I could maybe make history one day and play guitar, just like chill out and like learn something really productive instead of learning something that I'm going to forget in like a year or two, So, and then it just went on like that. I mean, it's a huge, it's almost like an addiction,
Yeah.
It really is. And it changes your life completely, it really is amazing.
So what's your favorite Beatles song?
My favorite, that's hard. It's a toss up between. I'm a Lennon fan, definitely.
Okay.
Not the Lennon communist Lennon, but like the John Lennon, like from the Beatles. Either Strawberry Fields Forever or Across the Universe. It's hard. It's a toss up. What's your favorite?
A couple George Harrison songs I like. And
he's a genius. While My Guitar Gently Weeps, he has Mine.
Yeah. I like a lot of George Harrison stuff. He's probably my favorite Beatle, and like
he's underrated.
Even his solo career, like I like some of his solo songs better than I like some of the Beatles songs. Like
Got My Mind Set on You.
Yeah. But What Is Life? Like that song. It's
that sounds familiar.
What album is off? I have my phone. I'll look it up right now.
That sounds so familiar.
But
like that one song, Turn Off Your Mind, Relax and Float Downstream.
Yeah.
I think that was by him. Some like crazy insightful lyrics, like it's like, where did you get this from?
Two of Us I like, and The Long and Winding Road, which I both believe are those Two of Us are the Two of Us is Paul McCartney song. And he says this about his wife, but there's like weird lyrics in it that are like that were clearly referencing to John Lennon. Were like the two of us chasing money, getting nowhere. The two of us have memories longer than the roads that rise ahead of us. It's like, this isn't about somebody you just married. This is about somebody you knew for years.
The lyrics go deeper. Like have you ever heard that?
In My Life is another great one I like too.
Oh my god, that was definitely a huge influence. That's one of the first songs I learned on guitar. That and Dust in the Wind, and then you have Over the Hills and Far Away, Led Zeppelin. Like, have you ever heard of that conspiracy theory that Paul died.
Paul is dead.
And Paul is dead. You know, Strawberry Fields Forever. I buried Paul.
Yes.
You know?
I actually don't. This is kind of funny. You wear the yellow submarine shirt.
Yeah. What a coincidence.
Yeah. I actually read a lot about that stuff. There's just like a lot of interesting things that like the Abbey Road cover with them walking with their feet and stuff like that. The way Paul is dressed and
and then you see Fool on the Hill, like one of the promotional covers. You see Paul's hand, and you see like two fingers that look like two legs, and it goes up to kind of look like a body, and then like it looks like a head that's like. It's weird. I totally wish we could have brought it up like on the screen. I totally wish like.
Alan, can I still did the TriCaster? Can I TriCast stuff?
We just implemented an update to the TriCaster, so give it a try.
All right.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I'm no like conspiracy nut. You know, I don't sit in my room with a tinfoil hat, you know, all the time. But like, I think like some stuff is just, you know, you gotta ask questions.
Hold on. Give me a second here, but I'll pull it up. Actually, let's go to a break while I try pulling this up, Alan. Back. We're here with Joey Smith, songwriter. We'll ask him about his songwriting capabilities in a second. But unfortunately, I could not send an image to the TriCaster about Paul being dead. I think he's alive. I don't know.
I think he might be dead. I think he might be both. Who knows? Dead, but here with us in spirit. You know.
The ghost of Paul McCartney haunts that the guy.
Could be here right now.
Yeah. So all right. So I mean, I could probably spend a whole episode talking about the Beatles. So I don't want to do that, especially when it's about you and your stuff. So so you're a songwriter, right? So
Definitely.
So how do you come with songs?
Well, like my first song actually, it's kind of like something I fell into. Like, it's never just easy to make a song. I think like. You gotta take something you really feel, like some like emotion, something that's like really hitting you hard. You know, like if you're like late for the bus, and you're like shit. I mean poop. You know, I gotta.
Yeah, I have said that before. I think I even said it last episode.
I gotta walk to work now. You know, like you go home and you write a song like, man, you know, I feel the blues. I gotta walk to work, or you know, if you get a paper cut, you know, like you're like no nothing small like that. Like the first song I wrote, my dad. He was a diehard Christian. Okay. And I put a poster of the Dalai Lama on my computer on the wallpaper, and he saw it. He was like, oh, no, that's atheistic, blah, blah, blah. Like, you're not going to go to heaven. Take it down. And then I wrote a song called Diversity. I'm the good to you I see, who's to blame diversity for the problems that we share. You know, like, and it just, like I think emotions in real life, like, music and songwriting is the art of expressing emotions you can't express like with words. You know, like I express through my guitar something I can't tell you just through language. Yeah. You know, because it's a whole different medium of communicating with people. I think, you know, that's how I got started with it, and then then I just wanted to be a millionaire. So that's my incentive now. No, just kidding.
So what do you think of the Red Hot Chili Peppers in the Super Bowl having to play
with Bruno Mars?
They played. No, they had their music was pre-recorded.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
The Super Bowl. They said that because it came out in the middle of a song in the middle of the set, they didn't really have time to properly sound check them, so they made them record and play over. If they had to key to singing over the recorded.
Wow.
But I don't know how they did that with the drums, because I think like the drums would have been loud enough to be picked up by other people's microphones. But
completely, yeah, they had to have been like, I don't know, unless like some of the microphones were.
They had no string, they had no chords, because they felt like if they didn't have chords, that people would realize that they're not plugged in, so they wouldn't feel like it was like they're not lined to everybody. So they took all the chords out before they went on.
Took all the chords out, and I mean, it is a Super Bowl. It is like, I mean, millions and upon millions of dollars get pumped into it. Yeah. So you don't want some old like geezers going on stage and screwing up your scene, you know.
But Bruno Mars' band performed live.
Honestly, like a lot of people fault me for this, but I have a lot of respect for Bruno Mars.
I like Bruno Mars.
I like
He,
him.
like
I
very
like
high
him.
energy.
Yeah, very like. He is mainstream, but I feel like he is a good songwriter.
There's nothing wrong with being mainstream. There's nothing wrong with a great
Yeah.
pop song, you know?
Exactly, a good song is a good song.
Yeah.
You know?
Like think about power pop. It's like it was so successful. Like the Beatles
Oh
and
my
the
God.
Not the Rolling Stones really aren't power pop, but the Beatles and the
And
Beach Boys and all those.
Ramones.
They're a little more punkish than they are
Yeah.
power popists, but I mean, like power pop's a great genre. I think the blues,
is.
like the Rolling Stones, are more of the blues, but that's great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't have to reject societal norms to like make a great song.
Exactly. You know, you can take it and build upon it. You know, you can say like this is something, you know, like the 80s, I feel like was the only era of like mainstream music that I really cannot like get into for the most part. And I feel like after the 80s, but like after the 80s came the 90s, you know, like which was a great era of music. I think the 90s was a response, you know, to like the mainstream like
That's what
electronic-
grunge was, right? Then grunge
Yeah.
like burnt
Grunge-
up into like a big fireball, and then came
Yep.
post grunge, and then like
yeah,
bands
and
like
then-
the Nirvana, and then they led to the bands like the Foo Fighters, where like
Puddle
you
of
had this
Mud
like
and-
rock pop thing that was like,
Exactly.
which was like really grunge esque, but wasn't grunge. It was more mainstream, and like they sold a bunch of
Completely.
albums, and like they still like. Dave Grohl's huge. I mean, his music is awesome, and like people like he's famous, and he does like. Have you seen Sound City, the music, the music documentary?
I haven't seen that.
I would
with,
definitely check it out.
Isn't that with Jimmy Page and Jack White, and is it that one, or am I completely like?
Sound City's when Dave Grohl like buys a recording studio or something, and then he goes around
Yeah.
the country asking people about how when they recorded there.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome. I really gotta check it out.
yeah. It's on. I mean, it might be on Netflix now. I bought it off Apple TV when it was like when it first came out.
Nice.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. But
Okay. I think I definitely have to check that out. I have a lot of respect for him as a musician, and it's just sad that he couldn't group with he grouped up with Pat Smear, the backup guitarist from Nirvana.
yeah.
But what's his name? The bassist. It escapes me right now. What's his name?
Yeah, I'm struggling with it because I can see it spelled. I
Yeah.
can't pronounce it right now.
Exactly. Kurt Cobain, Dave Grohl, and then.
But
But,
the
like,
reason
he
he
became
didn't
a
like
priest.
didn't want the
The lifestyle.
no the reason he didn't have the bassist perform is that
Mhm.
Foo Fighters were Chris
Chris Novoselic.
yeah.
Chris Novoselic.
He was
Yeah.
also a state senator now
Really?
in Washington.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but the
I want to
reason
move to Washington now. That's why they legalized pot. Cause
that was a ballot measure. That wasn't the only state legislature in the country to legalize the recreational pot is New Hampshire,
Wow.
but the governor hasn't signed it yet. But
Well, hopefully so.
yeah, he said that. So Dave Grohl was recording this stuff in, like before Nirvana broke up, and like people in the music scene knew all about it for a while. And then Kurt Cobain killed himself, and so Dave Grohl had his album that he wrote and performed all the. So the first Foo Fighters album, every instrument is played by Dave Grohl. All the vocals are Dave Grohl. All the harmonies are Dave Grohl. Everything's Dave Grohl. And so he was putting together a band, and his plan was to do with Pat Smear and
Chris Novoselic and all
but
those
he
people.
felt that it was too it was too similar to Nirvana. So so they didn't feel comfortable playing with each other. So they never really played. Then Pat Smear did a couple albums and left, and then his own thing, and came back for the most recent album, and then I'm recording now. So Pat Smear is now back in
Foo Fighters, and he's awesome. He honestly he's a great backup guitarist.
Yeah.
You know, like I love. He was in Everlong. I know he was definitely he contributes a lot. You know, and Kurt Cobain loved him, so that's enough for me. You know.
But doesn't the Foo Fighters have 3 guitars? I think they have.
I believe so.
I'm gonna look up their personnel right now.
I believe so.
Yes. So it's.
I mean, I haven't heard like too much of their discography, but like, I mean, the '90s.
Foo Fighters might be my favorite band, other than like the
Really?
Beatles and stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. My favorite band would maybe be like, maybe Queen or
Not a huge Queen person.
Classic.
Not gonna
Really?
lie, yeah.
Another One Bites the Dust, or We're the Champions again, or Don't Stop Me Now, or Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean, I just think the vocalist was amazing. The guitarist, I take him or leave him, but I mean Freddie Mercury, no replacing him. And
I
he's
don't like Freddie Mercury. I think that he made
Really?
a lot of he did a lot of
Oh.
things in his personal life that bothered me. Not like the fact that he covered up a lot about who he was in order to be more mainstream. Like he did. He was his
I hear
family's
you.
Indian, but they're
Really?
really Persian because they Persian family that moved to India, and then he wouldn't tell anybody that he was either Indian or Persian, and then he wouldn't tell anybody he was gay. Then he wouldn't tell anybody he had
Yeah.
AIDS until he died. So like he could have saved somebody's life by telling it, like being more proactive on the AIDS front, and he didn't do anything. So like I
Wow.
don't really. I lose a lot of respect. So yeah, they have 3 guitarists. The Foo Fighters have 3 guitarists.
Wow, I didn't know that.
That's interesting. The Beatles
That
originally had
is.
3 guitarists. And then
Huh.
then Stu Sutcliffe went back to art school and died. And then Paul McCartney moved over to play bass.
I remember that, and they had a different drummer as well.
Yes, Pete Best. But they had
Pete
Pete
Best.
Best. Pete Best tours as best of the Beatles, so you think you're getting when people book them, they think they're getting the best of the Beatles. They're at Pete Best of the Beatles. But he was actually I don't he was I don't know if he was there after or before Stu Sutcliffe, but I think he was there after Stu Sutcliffe before right before Ringo, and then
He was there after as well.
yeah.
He was definitely a great contributing artist. You know, it just sucks. Like, I mean, like there's so many people, like the original drummer for Nirvana, original drummer for the Beatles. You know, like you're there for the beginning.
Well,
and
he
like,
just, but
and
he
then-
didn't really like.
He didn't-
Ringo Starr really helped the Beatles because like one, he was more established, and two, when they first coming over, he was the big heartthrob. Like everybody wanted to like
Yeah.
date Ringo, so like he was very important to us for Beatlemania. Like he was just like. It was just him because like George Harrison was really odd and silent and quiet,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
John Lennon was married. Paul McCartney, I guess he was a heartthrob, but the big guy was like people loved Ringo. Like he
People
was huge
loved.
in 1964. So
People loved him. I heard like he loved it, but I heard like sometimes he was uncomfortable. Like when they went to France and they played live, there's like a whole group of like I guess you know like homosexual men that would like just be cheering like Ringo, like come back, invite me to your back room, Ringo, come on, like you know like there people. You're right. People were in love with him.
yeah,
You know, but I mean, like, who was in love with the Beatles back then? You
it
know,
was a big thing.
yeah.
Going back to the Beatles.
I know. Yeah, I mean, it's such a great topic. I mean, 50 years since Ed Sullivan.
Yeah. So by
You
the
know,
way,
so-
if you have an Apple
yeah.
TV, you could actually there's a Beatles channel on Apple TV, and you could go and watch the Ed Sullivan show of the Beatles on it.
Really?
Yeah, they have it, and
Wow.
they have so they do 3 songs. I never actually heard the middle of the 2 songs that they performed
I know.
first.
Saw her standing there. I want to hold your hand.
No,
Is it?
but they
No,
played
was it?
5 songs overall in the show, but there was 3 songs. Like they have different sets, and like the one set with the arrows pointing on it, they did 3 songs. I forgot what the middle song was, but they flashed the names of everybody on the band. It's like Paul, George, Ringo,
John.
and then John. Sorry, gals, he's married. Like they'd flash
That's
it. You could
horrible.
tell that the crowd could see it because the crowd was reacting, and he's like John. John gives us like a little smirk. It's kind of funny.
It is. I mean, it's crazy, and it's like that video right there. You know, they didn't realize it at the time that the history. You know.
But you know,
History
the thing is,
amazing.
what happened is Ed Sullivan had a really famous show. They called him the Star Maker. So he or Hitmaker. So he went to vacation in England, and he saw these people, and like he didn't know who they were. He never heard their music. He just knew that they're like people are going crazy for them. And he's like, I'm gonna get these people on my show. I got to. And so he gets them on the show, and then the rest is history, as they say.
Wow, exactly. You know, I mean, like before that, they just had like, I mean, they say rock and roll is kind of like when Nirvana came in the '90s. You know, like all you had Michael Jackson, you had Whitney Houston, you had that Boyz II Men scene. You know, they say rock was kind of like it was in the like Buddy Holly died. You know, Richie Valens died. You know, like what was his name? Chuck Berry, he didn't have anything coming out. Then the Beatles came and they just like smacked rock and roll on his butt, and just like set it rolling, again, and it inspired so many people.
There's 4 really big bands. They're like the British Invasion. It's the Beatles, Rolling Stone, the Who, and the Kinks in that order.
Oh yeah,
But then there's other bands like Herman's Hermits and stuff like that.
the
that are, like,
Zombies.
Zombies.
I'm Henry VIII.
Yes, like people like those bands. Like the fans are more so rabid about those artists, almost more than
more than the Rolling Stones or,
Yeah.
or the Beatles.
yeah, like their fans love them. Like a lot of people say
yeah.
Herman's Hermits is the best band to come out of the British Invasion.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I have to. My friend showed me a lot of that. Roger back in he actually got me into playing the guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, he showed me Henry VIII and like a lot of that old She's Not There by the Zombies, a lot of the old British invasion bands and stuff. I didn't know that. I didn't know people were so big on those people. I know who else was the Byrds.
The Byrds are an
Yeah.
American band in reaction to the Beatles because the Beatles misspelled their name. They misspelled their name.
Wow, I didn't even know that. That's really good. You're like you're like right on point with that stuff. That's awesome.
I know
man.
a lot about music. That's
Yeah.
the thing. I can't play a guitar anymore, but I mean,
Really? Oh no, you got the you got it on the worst finger too.
Yeah.
I actually broke my finger like a little while ago when I was like 12 and everything, and it was a bad thing and kind of like a funny thing because every time like someone's like, oh my god, like let me see your finger. You broke your finger. Let me see it. You know, like my teacher asked me, "You broke your finger? Oh my God, show it to me." I broke my middle finger. I was like, "Yeah, here you go. Take a look at that. There you go." You know.
It's been like it's been like 6.5 weeks and it's still like this. So hopefully.
Oh my God. How'd you break it? You get in a street fight?
Yeah, street fight. I got my finger cut at the door the day after Christmas.
Not as badass as a street. It was still badass.
I did go out drinking instead of going to the hospital that night. I went to Jake's to hear a cover band, Jake's in Wallingford, and I heard a cover band. And then everybody's like, "You really should go to the hospital." The next morning, so I went to bed because I had a couple drinks. I had 4 drinks, so I wasn't drunk, but it was good. So I went to bed. And then the next morning, or like at 5 in the morning, I wake up. I'm like, "This really hurts. I need to go to the hospital." All right, so let's go to a PSA, and then we're gonna go back and we got some footage to play and hear the stylings of Joey Smith.
Peace. Can't you see? Never break it to you easily. Pretty soon I'll love you on your knees. You start to pray for a God to save the day when it comes. When it comes, don't you know? Just don't have no other place to go. The sun is setting for you, though you still don't know the truth. But it's wasted on the youth when it comes. When it comes, can you save me from my ways? Where I'm lost inside our days. Chemicals will set me free. Guys above, please hear my plea. Oh, can it be? Guess I am my own worst enemy. The fate is going for me. Oh, I still don't know my way. These are dues we have to pay when it comes. When it comes, can't you see? Wanna break it to you easily. Pretty soon I'll love you on your knees. You start to pray for a God to save the day when it comes. When it comes. When it comes.
Hey everyone, we're back! Yay, we got 10 minutes. So, what was that song we just heard?
I couldn't hear it too well, but I think it was Escape from Heaven.
Escape from Heaven. Does that sound
Escape
right,
from
guys?
Heaven.
You know, we don't. Bills. Can we get monitors out here sometime so we can hear what's going on? Eventually. No? Yes?
Hold on, what do you want?
Some way to monitor the sound that's coming out when we're not here.
I'm talking to people on that, and then I talked to people, and then people didn't get back to me.
Keep talking, Alan. Keep talking.
So I was working on that, and then I'm also working on trying to get you capable for Skype, and that's gonna cost some money. So
Who's going to pay for this Skyping?
no, the board will. I mean, the WPA will pay for the Skype, so we can have Skype and everything. But to do it professionally, it's gonna cost like $50.
$50.
Yep, $50.
I will pay
$50.
for it. I don't have cash on me right now, but I'll come back tomorrow with.
I have to. What I have to do is I have to get the cables and wires together. So this way, we can run a video cable from the laptop to the TriCaster,
camera
and
one.
from the TriCaster to the laptop.
Switch to camera
Okay,
one.
Tyman, you can talk.
Can you switch to camera one?
What?
Can you switch to camera one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm already doing it.
All right, dude. All right, well, that's actually you just switch back to you can switch back to the double shot. But okay, so you talk to people about Skyping because I'm talking to this heavy metal artist in Japan. I want him to be on my show.
That's awesome.
And I don't know if we're gonna be able to do this live because it'd be like 8 in the morning his time, so I don't know what he's doing during that time. He might be working or being
Sleeping.
productive. Yeah. Who's
Eating
sleeps-
sushi.
Eating sushi. He is American. He's that's from Boston.
Oh,
so
sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some stuff I got to work with on it, but I'll figure it out. Probably the next coming year.
I do love sushi myself.
I love
There's
sushi.
there's a great all-you-can-eat sushi place in North Haven, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, you give them cards and everything's fresh.
What's the name of it?
I will tell you off air because I think it will sound too much like a promotion
Okay.
now. So yeah. So I went there with Riyadh after I moved my house, right? Was it after I moved my house? Yeah. Riyadh helped me move, and so I paid him the sushi and cash too. But I mean, we went to sushi.
Sushi.
So all right. So you're gonna do a little more freestyle in here, or you have a song?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, if you guys will allow me, I got like this one song I wrote this little ditty right here. My landlord was giving me blues, man. He was coming at me, all sideways and stuff, crossways, slantways, just like completely off base, And it's like, I mean, when you live in an apartment complex, you know how it is. Sometimes you get a good landlord, sometimes you get a bad landlord.
Sometimes you get a bipolar landlord. Yeah.
Exactly,
Not talking about anybody. Am I, Riyadh?
And he was coming at me talking some crazy stuff about, like, oh, blah, 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 you got to do this, blah, pay rent on time, blah, 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 give me the rent. And I was like, listen, man, sit down and listen to this. And this is what I played for him. Sitting on the roof of a dead man's mouth, hiding from the truth, got it figured out. 'Cause now you've stole it all, for what expense? Tried to patch the hole, what was spent. You kick me when I'm down, you know you do. Printing on the walls, you know the truth. Friends become your foes when you bend yours. Try to get the game, you win, you lose. But don't despise yourself for what they've done. Another race is run, the day is done. Throw it all away, keep yourself. One man's claim to fame, another's hell. Kick me when I'm down, you know you do. Printing on the walls, you know the truth. Friends become your foes, and you've been used. the game. You win, you lose. Win, you lose. Win, you lose.
Wow.
And that's what I played for him. And needless to say, he was like, "Give me the rent. give me the rent right now."
Really?
Yeah, so that, you know, but
You trying to play him in music, it didn't work. I'm sorry.
Exactly. But you know, I think music is definitely an underappreciated art form. You know, nowadays. I mean, back in the day, you used to be able to go out to the bars, to the pubs and stuff. You know, they used to pay you such and such amount of money to go out and play. Now people would rather sit in their homes and watch TV instead of.
I saw this band Spunk. It's a
Yeah.
cover band. I saw them last weekend in at Poorhouse or Poorhouse. The Poorhouse is at Hartford. They closed that down. Black Bear in New Haven, and I mean they were really high energy and like they had cover. I think they keep the cover or something like that. It was kind of cool.
Sweet. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely good venues out there that treat musicians well. And then you have places like I don't know if I can drop any names right now.
You could say like I mean you're not advertising. You're just being like he's being critical of them. It's editorial. He's not promoting them. You can use names.
Okay. I don't want to step on anyone's toes, but a place called Afton. I use them once or twice, and they say like, oh, you got to bring such and such amount of people. You bring like 20 people, and they all buy a ticket. They make about like $200-$300, and they give you like 10% of that. You know, and you do get your music out there, but they're making tons of money on your back. You know, so I mean, you know, like who's doing all the work here? You know, and you got to watch out for people like that in any industry. You know, like music. You know, like in the like poetry, spoken word. You know, art. You know, drawings, anything. Even in television. Yeah, probably. You know, you never know.
You never know. I'm always looking out for Alan Billings because I feel like he's going to like he's trying to take advantage of me. He's trying to ride me my comp stardom.
You never know.
Yes, if you have any complaints, call Alan Billings at 203-265-6310. All right, so we have 2 minutes. So what else do you have to say to the wonderful world of Wallingford?
I gotta say, like, it's definitely a great town, though. Definitely a couple great people out here. I jam with a kid named Adam, a kid named Tom, a girl named Jenny. Like, they make up the band Synthetic Death and everything. I fill in as a singer from time to time / guitarist for them.
Are you currently playing with any bands, or other than just?
Right now, I jam with like, I get my gigs and everything, and then I just call people up. I say, hey, would you like to play with me, accompany me into this show, that show?
Really?
So, yeah, I'm pretty much like a singer-songwriter, and I just, I have a network of people, you know, so it's a whole network.
Assuming my hands ever feel better, if you ever need a bassist, let me know.
I'll keep that in mind, you know, I'll keep the number in my phone.
Yeah. That's funny. All right. So, A. Bills, why don't you give the guest a lovely update of what's going on next week? He doesn't know what's going on next week, so I guess that's the end of the show. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Joey Smith. Thank you for the lovely audience we have tonight. We actually have 2 people watching us live. The hottest ticket in Wallingford. Screw the Oakdale, right? And so let's head out. Have a good night.